at quite the scale. So, what is your team like and like the org structure?
Yeah, so I think what would be helpful for this is just to give you the philosophy of my org structure as against. The current team is almost 60 people big. So there's designers, the researchers, and product managers who report into me. But the way we are divided and where we are structured is there are two parts. We are now focused in terms of customers, which is let's say consumers, agents, and property developers. But and that's the verticals that you'll see in the me. And then within that, what you're going to see is also that outcome orientation in terms of the product teams. I'm a big fan of. So as I said, the transition was towards outcome. It took us a bit of time. So what I decided was there's no one good way of designing org for your business. But what I favored was much more around outcome oriented. So if you look at my consumer team, they have a traffic team, we have a retention team, and we have a conversion team. All of them have clear outcomes. The flip side of this is you will have them working on conflicting assets. For instance, retention team might be running an experiment on my search, whereas conversion team might be also running an experiment on search, which is fine. But that's a trade-off that you're doing in terms of outcome orientation. And that has served us well. And we have continued that org structure for quite some time. What's very interesting is in our initial days, however, this structure it was a bit of strain for us, because depending on the context of the business, my thinking is if you're like in the early stage, I would lean more towards feature-based org structure as against outcome-based org structure. And as you scale up, outcome-based org structure makes sense. What we've also done recently is also pivoted into HQ and local teams. So there's a headquarter teams which kind of regionally scales products. So we manufacture once in, let's say, Singapore or Malaysia, and we scale it to other markets. And there are local teams which just do local specific initiatives. Like for instance, in Thailand, people like to search with their local Thai names when it comes to location. That's a very peculiar to Thailand. Or Indonesians have their own eccentricity. So we've now got a local teams which can then take care of that.